Greetings! Hello to all of the mystics and the dreamers out there. Hello to everyone in YouTube land. My name is Belle, and I'd like to kick off the first mystic philosophy video today. I'm really excited about this. I've been dragging my feet about starting the mystic philosophy videos because it's really close to my heart, and sometimes if there's something close to your heart, you don't really want to share it, even though you know you should. Luckily, I have this quiet niche of the internet so far, which is very quiet, but it makes it a little bit more comfortable for me to share things, so I think it's working out well. So I didn't wake up inspired today, not at all. I woke up kind of in the doldrums, or whatever that expression is, kind of dreary. But then I was listening to my iPod on random, and a new Sounds True program that I bought recently on sale came up. So I really like William Buhlman's writing and speaking about the out-of-body experience. So this is what I was listening to, William Buhlman. And the part of the program that randomly came up on my iPod was about the astral plane, and Buhlman says that in his experience, a lot of the astral plane is made up of consensus realities, which means agreed upon realities. And part of his point was that after death, after we transition, we're most likely going to find the consensus reality that is most comfortable for us. But this could be good or bad. I mean, it could be good, but to me, it was a little bit like a wake-up call, because I feel like I am a creative and imaginative person, like everyone is on some level, or everyone has the possibility to be. So I don't want to be part of anyone else's consensus reality. I want to have creative input myself. So it just kind of was a wake-up call, and I was like, if I'm not going to speak about what's close to my heart right now in this lifetime, when am I going to get around to it? So it had a very positive effect on me, and all of a sudden I was jotting down the notes for this video, and I realized that I need to speak my mind, even if no one really listens. I'm not going to be negative about that. Maybe some people are interested, and everyone's capable of their own creativity, but I'd like to be able to speak my mind without waiting around for lifetime number 9 or number 12 or whatever. If it's not going to happen now, there's a chance that it may never happen. The two most important goals to me as I share this information are the two things are, I would like to spark the imagination, and the second thing is I would like to empower people. When I think about why I share things, those are the two main reasons: sparking the imagination and empowerment. Because obviously I'm just one person, and I don't know what you should do. So that brings me to another point that I feel like everyone should really think for themselves. And I know everyone knows this already, but I just feel like it's important to say, because I noticed that a lot of times, at least on a spiritual path or whatever you want to call it, sometimes we think everyone else has a really good idea, and we're like, oh, I need to follow that because it's a really good idea. But to me, what we should do is just be inspired by other people's ideas and then come up with a way that works for us as a unique individual. Okay, so I think I've checked off a few of my points so far, so let me just check this off. So along the lines of what I was speaking about not wanting to get drawn into someone else's consensus reality if that's not right for me, I feel like it's up to us to, in the present, expand our imaginations about the nature of reality. And I think we should expand our imaginations in positive and life-affirming ways. And I'm just going to refresh my computer so it doesn't turn off. So that's, I guess I said there were two things that were important to me. Those are two things, but there's also more points, obviously. The key to mystic philosophy, as I envision it, is to just gradually and in a comfortable way expand the imagination, expand what you think about the nature of reality, and keep it very positive, very life-affirming. That doesn't mean that we deny or overlook things that aren't positive, but to me it means starting from a premise in our own minds that is positive. And that leads me to my next point. I wanted to share two books that have been influential to me. The first book I wanted to share is by Robert Miller, who lives in Australia right now, I believe. And the book is Buddhist Existentialism, and then it says, From Anxiety to Authenticity and Freedom. I have to admit that I haven't read this entire book because I'm trying to savor it and read it a little bit at a time. And I'm not even sure if what inspires me about this book is what he was trying to get across. But let me just share this book. Of course, it's reversed. But what I learned from this book, whether or not that was his intention, is be careful about how you define life for yourself. And you might as well start from a positive premise about life in your own mind. For instance, if you say, like, I don't have an example written down, but if you say, like, I'm always depressed on rainy days, that's like not that great of an example, but I don't know. I'm not sure what the example would be, but you should definitely, if you're interested in mystic philosophy and you're interested in ideas that will challenge you, but in a positive way, I really recommend this book by Robert Miller. And there's also some articles you can look up that go over some of the same points that are available online. And there's so much more I could say about this book because there's a lot of Buddhist ideas that I'm not as familiar with that he goes through. But I really liked his idea that you can start from a positive premise as your own approach to life. And I hope I'm not just inspired in the wrong way by that book, but anyway. Let's keep going. So the other thing I was going to say is I like to keep stimulating my mind through imagination expanding books. So I shared the first book that challenges me in a positive way by Robert Miller. And this book, I actually read virtually the whole thing from cover to cover. This book is Dreamgates by Robert Moss. And he writes a lot about dream travel. And this book is wonderful. And I think it will, if you haven't read it yet, I think it will challenge you to expand your concept of what the nature of reality can be. And one of the ideas, again, I don't know if this is the idea that he wants people to take away, but one of the ideas that I have been inspired by through reading Robert Moss books is the idea that life is more like a dream than we think it is. I think usually we keep a separation between life, reality that we live in daily life, and the world of dreams that we visit at night while we're sleeping. But when you start to make that boundary a little bit more permeable, at that point you can question how much is life like its own type of dream. And that is really positive, and that really sparks my imagination. So I really like that idea. So those are the two books I wanted to share today. Let's see, I just have a couple more points to go over. Yeah. And I don't know how to edit, videos yet, as you can tell if you've watched my videos. So thanks for bearing with me. I was going to also say the whole beginning when I was a kid about my soul path, although I didn't even call it that, it's just the way I saw things. I would look at life sometimes and I would question the nature of reality. And this is kind of ingrained in who I am. And the questioning of the nature of reality is like a beacon or like a radar type thing that just like keeps me going on my spiritual path or my path of soul or whatever you want to call it. And I'm not trying to be critical, but I'm not sure if everyone questions the nature of reality or not. I recommend it because I think once you are inquisitive about the nature of reality, your imagination is more likely to expand in positive ways. But of course I'm biased because that's my idea. But I recommend questioning the nature of reality. And the other thing I wanted to say is, to me, a sense of freedom can mean stepping beyond some social norms. There's the idea that we've been conditioned in different ways. I think there's a lot of people that write on about this in pretty extreme ways sometimes. But anyway, I don't think we need to say goodbye to all social norms. Obviously, there are ways that we get along and the ways that we agree to live that are probably productive. But in general, if there's a belief that we've been conditioned to think is just the truth, that could be a hurdle, and that could keep us from having our full sense of freedom or our full sense of expansiveness when we're thinking about different imaginative ideas or anything like that. So that's another idea I had, I think, which goes along with what we're talking about. And in closing, the whole inspiration for this video is that I feel compelled to write and speak my own mind more. I've been really holding back because I was being a little apathetic, and I was being a little bit, I wasn't really believing in people that much. I was like, no one wants to hear my ideas because they're a little weird, and people are comfortable, and they don't want to be challenged. They don't want to spark their imaginations. But I think there's a little niche for everyone out there, and out of the 7 billion people on this planet, maybe a few of them are interested in questioning the nature of reality in the ways that I'm interested in questioning the nature of reality. Along those lines, to me, the idea of truth, that's kind of a hard word to say, truth. The idea of truth is typically a relative idea, which I think goes against the way we say things. Like, usually it's like true or false, pick one or the other. But to me, we all carve out and imagine our own sense of truth to live by. And going back to the Robert Miller book, you may as well design a happy sense of truth for yourself, as long as you do have that opportunity in life. So I hope that you've enjoyed this first mystic philosophy video. I hope to have more in the future. This is going to be day 1. I hope to have more, and I might go into more depth about different books that I'm inspired by. But I just wanted to start it off today when I was feeling inspired. Feel free to contact me if you would like to talk about mystic philosophy ideas. I haven't really set everything up yet, but it shouldn't be too difficult. So I am open to hearing your ideas about sparking the imagination and about kind of creative soul, the path of creative soul, or whatever you want to call it, like kind of a creative way of envisioning life. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to speak with you more about some of these imaginative ideas. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time.